If we're looking then at roof systems, there's a whole range of different roof systems that are available, and we can characterise those. So we have, which is sort of beams and purlins, beams and rafters, which is a slightly different arrangement. We've got light nail plate trusses, heavy trusses, tied frames, portal frames, arches and domes. The end two are probably much rarer than the ones at this end. And if we can say in our job, we're going to look at this one. We're going to take the simplest one, which is beams and purlins. We're going to have a primary beam. We're going to run purlins straight across. Now, if we look at that one then in a bit more detail in the guide, then there's a range of options that opens up for us. If we want regular beams, there's actually a range of different ways in which we can have a regular beam. A beam doesn't have to be straight. A beam can be curved, it can be tapered, it can be on an angle, etc. So all of those top drawings are actually your standard operational drawings for what a beam might be between columns. Coming down from that, we've got the materials then that are regular options that you could use depending on whether you're spanning greater or less than 5 metres. Now obviously the ones that are greater than 5 metres can come back to less than 5 metres, but if you're going over 5 metres, they're the sorts of things you're going to need. And there's also then the purlin options with some notes then about span to depth ratios and nominal sizing. So once you get over about 4.8 metres, you start to get into some problems in what materials you can use. So we then provide span tables then for things like indicative rafter spans, and we use a couple of standard spacings, an 18-degree pitch, and then we use a range of different materials to give you a guidance as to if you've got this material of this size in this wind classification, it's likely to go about that far. So the grey bar is single span, the extension into the green bar is then if you've got a continuous span. So the aim of this obviously is then so that if you're doing a preliminary design, you can actually go through the guide and say, okay, I'm likely to need something of this size if I'm going to have these sorts of things at this sort of spacing. So in our case, we might say we're going to use LVL, we've got a 240 by 45. So if we've only got single span, we're likely to be able to go out to about 4.2 metres. If we've got it as a continuous span, we might be able to take it out towards 6.